here to do another review for an audio product that I wish I had not bought. Maybe I could make an entire video series. So, today's product is the Yamaha A-S701. And here's the sad part. The A-S701 is a good integrated amplifier. In fact, I would call it a great integrated amplifier. Particularly because usually when I consider whether something is actually good, I consider two things. How good is it, and how much did it cost? And in this case, the Yamaha AS701 is a fucking good deal. If you are looking for a high-end audiophile-ish amplifier, something quite good but not unreasonable, kind of like buying a Lexus because what you want is a Ferrari, but what you can afford is a Lexus, and then you find out, man, I really love Lexus, these cars are great, then you're going to like Yamaha, because their products are really quite good for the money, like damn good. And the AS701 on paper is absolutely phenomenal. So, if we click that more info button here on the 701, well then presumably it should show us the 701. There it is. It's got incredible build quality. I mean, it is clear that this is just two monoblock amplifiers slapped into one package, which is great. The remote, I mean, whatever. It's a remote. You're really just going to use the volume control and the source selector. The back of this baby is loaded. It's got A and B speaker channels. It's got an impedance selector so that you can set it up correctly for your speakers. It's got an optical and digital coax in. It's got independent subwoofer out. It has more red and white line level RCA inputs than you have devices, and it's not even fucking close. There she is, baby. And then, when you go down to look at the actual specs on the thing, you're like, man, 100 watts into 2 channels. That doesn't seem like a lot. Oh, wait a minute, it's at 8 ohms. Maybe that is a decent amount. Oh, wait a minute, it's at 0.019% total harmonic distortion. Actually, that is quite good. And by the way, that rating is RMS, not maximum. This thing can slam. I have had it connected to a set of Vienna acoustic Beethovens, and damn, I could turn up the volume louder than I could stand, and the amp could still handle it, producing fantastic full range, including deep bass. I mean, like, you could put on some LMFAO party rock and shake the house. So, it can handle up to 4 ohm speakers. It's got that selector on the back. It's got the pure direct mode, which bypasses all of those controls for balance and treble and bass and loudness and all that crap that you don't want because you really like music and you want to hear it the way it was recorded, right? It's got all of the things that you're looking for. It weighs a lot because it's a real amp, And overall, this thing just brings the thunder. There it is, right there. Watts, RMS per channel, 100 at 8 ohms. I mean, let's face it, that thing, it's going to power virtually any set of speakers that you can afford if you are the type of person who is going to buy an integrated amplifier that costs less than $1,000. That's the real thing. And it's got a built-in digital to analog converter, which is important because your music source is probably digital. Yeah, you might have a phonograph. That's cool. You don't care about the DAC. Yeah, you might have a really high-end CD player. Okay, you don't care about the DAC. No problem. But if you're like me and the rest of the fucking world, you're listening to Spotify or some other streaming service, and you're outputting it digitally from like a computer or your TV's optical or coax input so that you can use a better DAC. And this has a good DAC. I mean, here's the info on that DAC. Should be right there somewhere. Yeah, bit depth, 24-bit, sample rate, 192. Solid, right? So if I'm saying all this good stuff, why am I telling you not to buy it? Well, hold on just a second here. Let's see what kind of competition we have for this thing. Huh, wait a minute. $899, $799, $899, $799. Well, that's weird. There's another Yamaha for only $100 more. Well, $100 is not a lot of money when you're spending $800. What is this? Okay. All right. Yeah. Geez. Looks like pretty much the same thing. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Let me scroll back up. What was that? Oh. Oh. Look at that digital to analog converter. That's right. You can get the same amp with a really good DAC. Yamaha, what the actual fuck? Why? Why do these two products exist? There is not enough differentiation in your product line for these two products to exist. Let me back up and show you. So, Yamaha has, and this is smart, a cheap, low-power amplifier. 60 watts by 2, plenty of inputs, solid build quality. And then they have this product, which probably should not exist, at $550, 85 watts by 2. Exact same as the one above it, except it has more power. Then they have this product, the one that we're reviewing, 100 watts by 2, all the same architecture, all the same innards, just more power. Then they have this product, all of the same architecture and power, with a sick-ass digital to analog converter. Well, let's take a look at some numbers. Scratch and dent, $812. So they'll sell you this amp for 10% off with a scratch and dent. Interesting. Okay. How about some of the other ones above? Let's see here. I know I saw it earlier. Scratch and dent, $470 on this guy, right? Like, the point here is that these things retain their value. But nobody wants to buy the 701. Why does nobody want to buy the 701? Because they bought the 801. Because the 701 shouldn't exist. Because the 801, for $100 more when you're already spending $800 something, is a significantly better product. Frankly, I think the 501 shouldn't exist, because 85 watts is not enough of an upgrade from the 60 watts that you get on their low-end piece. I think that there should be two lower-end integrated amps from Yamaha. One that produces about 60 watts for like bookshelf speakers and, people who just don't need the power. And then one that produces 100 watts for people who need that power. And it should cost less than $799. Because for $100 more, you're just going to buy an 801. And you should. And I should have too. Because I own a 701. Damn it. So, why should you buy the 701? I can think of two very good reasons. One, you get a hell of a deal on a used one. Speaking of which, leave a comment if you live in Denver and you want one used for a lot less than $800. I'll give you a much better deal than the scratch and dent on Crutchfield, I'll tell you that. So, you're getting a great deal because, it's a hell of an amp. The second reason, and the more logical one, is you don't need the DAC. You are outputting just from a phonograph, or maybe a super audio CD player, or some other digital source that you're using an outboard DAC for that is really fucking good. Or, and this is unlikely because if you have an independent DAC, you probably have a system with separates or something higher quality than this. But if you're doing your digital to analog conversion outside of your integrated amplifier, you don't give a shit about the DAC. There's no reason for you to pay an extra $100 for that. But that is like such a small percentage of people. Most people are buying an integrated amplifier because they want a high quality amp that's connected to a thing with a volume control and a lot of source inputs that doesn't muddy up their music and can convert their digital signals to analog signals, because all of their music these days, pretty much outside of their phonograph, is digital signals. That is like 90x% chance that that's you, the buyer. So, all told, the 701 is a beast. Just buy yourself an 801 unless you fit into that special group of people that already has a DAC, only uses analog sources and will not be using the DAC, or, and this is probably the best group of people, can get one for a hell of a discount because somebody is selling it used because they realized they should have bought something else.